Well, morning everyone. You can see our little village here. It's now Wednesday morning. We're off for a little bit of a stroll with Eva. We're going out to the barn, which is not far for our little dog, but you know, sometimes Eva, who is here, hello, say hello Eva, say hello. Sometimes Eva can't be bothered, and she turns around sometimes and to say, as if to say, you know what, I've had enough of walking, I'm going to go back home, especially when it's raining. She's not keen on rain anymore, which is interesting. She's coming up to 8 years old, and she's a superstar. She doesn't care much for wet weather. I'll go fast. Sorry about that. But anyway, here's the weather for the day. Bright, beautiful. Got a bit foggy over here towards the west. Here we are west. There's north off in the distance. Anyway, we're going to go and talk about something different now, and go explore. I don't know. Go explore why people do stupid things. How about that? Here we go. So we're at Ed's barn now, or Ed's farm. It's somewhere down there. Girls have gone to school. So yes, why is it sometimes we do stupid things? And we're normally sane, but sometimes our thinking goes astray. And this is one of the things, or one of the topics that on the face of it, I think actually turned me towards the principles, is understanding why sometimes people do stupid things, or seemingly stupid things. So normally sane people get a bit of a mindstorm and end up doing some stuff that they wish they hadn't. More traffic, sorry. Yeah, they wish they hadn't in hindsight, and no psychology that's out there right now, standard psychology, actually helps people understand that. And the principles help me really clarify that in a really beautiful way. And the other thing that the principles did was help me understand why some days are amazing, some days are terrible, and nothing about our environment changes. Nothing about our circumstance or our situation changes, but somehow we have good days and bad days. Nothing explains that too. So this series of vlogs, whatever you want to call them, is really about the principles and the way that there are kind of three interactions that are going on inside of us all the time, and helping us to do what we do or not. And understanding that system that's going on innately behind us, in us all the time, is really useful in helping us not cope with it, but overcome the stuff that we have with it and have a more happier and easier life. And this series is all about that, and I'm not going to hold anything back. There's no secrets here, but there's something useful in terms of kind of what we do. Wow, that's not useful. So useful in terms of what we do at helping people with their challenges in work and in business, and also in other life subjects as well. I'm going to have to ring off for a second because there's loads of cars coming. See you in a bit. So common psychology is all about doing something. Common psychology is about doing a coping mechanism, or a distraction, or taking your mind off it, or I don't know, all sorts of things that are out there. I'm not a professor in that area, and it does work for a lot of people. I'm pleased about that. Here's some more. It does work for a lot of people. I'm really pleased that people get a lot out of current psychology, and they're getting some form of help. But don't be confused as to what's really happening with people that are actually getting help. What our brain also does, or our system also does, is help us move on with that thinking. It helps us move from thought to thought. More. It helps us move from thought to thought without us having to do anything. You'll recognise that right now, when you're listening to this, your thoughts will be moving from subject to subject to subject to subject. You might be being annoyed by the traffic, or me constantly coming in and out, or what this wonderful weather is that I've got around me here, and the amazing place that I'm living. It could be anything, but it could be about the colour of your car or the shape of your front door. Now you can't get that out of your head. It could be about a worrisome moment, or it could be about a happy moment. Wow, this is going to be a big edit. Anyway, so our mind moves off. So the to-do is actually to do nothing. To do nothing about the worrisome feeling, because you know that it's actually caused by worrisome thinking or toxic thinking, and it'll go. We move on from that and we make more stuff up in the day, as it were. We make more decisions and we move on. We move on from that. And so the thing to do is do nothing with it. Let the thought go. Don't dwell in the thought. The thoughts are a little bit like, as it's just Christmas, it's like having bad relatives around, or relatives you don't really want around. If you feed those relatives, they'll stay. If you don't feed them, they'll go. It's the same goes with thoughts. If you feed it with indulging, you feed your thoughts with indulgement in the thoughts, they'll stick with you. And your mind has a wonderful way of feeding you more thoughts or more material on stuff that it thinks that you're interested in. So it's not a case of changing, it's a case of just being in the feeling, letting the feeling go. It's not as if you're going to have a bad feeling again, so you're going to have that. And just be with them and be okay with them, because that's ultimately where you are. Anyway, tomorrow maybe a little bit more in depth about kind of what's actually going on with us. Cheers for now.